Hello, everybody. Happy holidays. It's Wednesday, my favorite Wednesday of the week, and this is Void Jumpers. We're super happy to have you here. It's the holiday cheer episode, if we get to that section fast enough, but that's up to us. We're going to be doing a live play tabletop RPG stream thing today, and we're going to be playing this game, Monster of the Week by Michael Sands, a wonderful little book that encourages character development and world building and all kinds of fun stuff. So go out and try it. Okay, that's my only plug for other people's shit this week. Let me check my notes. What's up, everybody? My friends here.
What's up? Hello.
Oh, yeah, you can't do the thing where you bring us all in later because we're all
I just want to show everybody this really, really perfect ornament that I bought this week.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Today's our holiday episode because it's 2 days away from that really snowy, present-filled time. And we got some special items in the store. They're all holiday themed. I want to give a shout out to Merc Worky, our mod extraordinaire, for helping build that store, writing all the descriptions, and also creating the presents, which will be bought for the team. We already got one present in from Gordon. From Thing? I meant to say Thing. Okay.
Yes.
From Thing. And so we got one present, which we'll start off with, which we'll do when we get into the actual stuff. But just thank you, Merc, for helping us do that. The present list is pretty great. I didn't touch it at all. These are all from the diabolical mind of Merc. I'm also drinking eggnog for the occasion. It's my favorite consistency. Slime.
Yay.
What exactly is eggnog? Is there milk in it, or is it?
I have no idea what it is.
Base?
It's mostly eggs and milk and heavy cream, I think, plus
sugar,
like nutmeg.
Okay.
Yeah. You can have. I think you can get away with a relatively minimal amount of sugar, depending on your tastes. But
I mean, but it's sweet. It can't just be sweet based off of nutmeg, right? And eggs aren't sweet.
Milk has a lot of sugar in it already.
I mean, it has glucose in it, but nobody drinks a glass of milk and is like, that's all the dessert I needed. Just a nice cold glass of skim is just perfect.
Well, skim has more sugar.
Nobody's drinking skim milk, man. What are you, crazy?
Milk, JC.
Okay, I don't drink cow milk, so I don't know like people's preferences. I'm sorry. You're like, oh, I got the whole homogenized. That's my jam right there. Just choke down this brick of milk. Get my knife and fork and just cut a slice of milk.
I just drink liquefied grass-fed ghee. That's it.
Oh, you drink it?
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, that's enough of this, okay? Let's roll the recap and get to this game. Golden letters materialize in the air before you. They read, "The bank job." The difficulty reads, medium. Then it clicks over to hard mode, because you guys failed a bunch during the WWE sequence. Now, all right. Are you all ready to do this?
Of course.
Yes.
And you can tell that something went wrong when you cast it, because you would assume, like most concentration-based spells, there's a safety latch that you're keeping your finger on to keep the spell active. This one doesn't seem to have that. You're just Slarkta, the vampire.
One of the people in line is like, hey, she just cut in line. I'm like, yes, she did. Silence or she'll cut you next.
Did she say cut? Did she say cut?
I said cut!
You could do that from the vents.
Then it's the vents for me.
All right, let's get into this. So
that sounds like it's going to be eventful.
I get down on the ground to pick it up, and I'm right next to Danny DeVito's calf.
It's glistening, you know? It's like there's just a little bit of sweat, so the light is bouncing off of it, just accentuating the curves, the supple plumpness.
I hit my calms. and I say, "Kumquat, kumquat."
Just seen a sneeze of blood explode across one of the employees' faces, and heard Sam probably yell a cuss word from the vent as the alarm is now sounding.
And Tag says, Gesundheit.
Blackout.
In the void and we are bumping and slow jumping, bumping and jumping the board on Christmas Eve.
All right, so business. Who leveled up? Anybody?
Oh,
I'm very close.
yeah, I think I'm close too.
So is the wizard, I believe.
Yeah, I'm one away.
Okay.
So am I.
This is your weekly reminder that Bryn is still a vampire. She's also frozen in Slokta's form. So she looks like Slokta permanently until you guys figure out a way to fix that, because I did not build in a safety to that curse.
And she looks like young Slokta, not undead wizard Slokta.
Yes, prime, like vintage Slokta. Rex is down an HP from her sucker sneakers still. That is the final regular announcement. At the end of last week's episode, I dropped the ball a couple times. So we're going to put ourselves in a moment in time to fix some of my mistakes. Mainly, I was wrong about where Tag was. So before we get the final beat of where you guys left off, we're actually going to take a couple steps backwards, and we're going to start this game with Tag.
Do you want to, Jesse, just give us a, both for refreshing ourselves as well as in case there's anybody new watching us, just a little lay of the land, kind of where people are and what the last events were?
Yes. So the last episode was called The Bank Job because you entered into the memory of a very evil necromancer, you thought, to steal an item from this bank, specifically an item that was in H311 security box in the vault. You guys did some interesting choices. Just to give you
strong choices.
We made
Yeah.
good.
Real strong.
I don't like the tone. We didn't ask for a very tone-heavy recap of where we were.
Bryn changed into Slokta, the evil necromancer, to impersonate her and act like a VIP walking into the bank. She was accompanied by her spiritual guide, Rex, who was burning sage and smoking everybody out in the lobby. The wizard climbed into the air vents from the roof, which he is currently still inside. And Tag put on an invisibility cloak and snuck into the manager's office. You were also accompanied by Sly.
Invisibility cloak? Motherfucker, these are skills that I have. I am a stealthy rogue. I don't mean what I'm not fucking Harry Potter.
Sorry.
Passed this down by my dead father, gifted it by Dumbledore himself.
And hopefully you've been nice, not naughty.
What was that?
I feel like that was a bit of a chastisement.
Present from Rob.
Another present?
Yeah. Thanks,
Rob. Thank you, Rob.
Okay.
Thanks. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
I got both these presents marked down. I'm going to put them in once we actually start. I'm trying to get through a rather tone-heavy recap here, and I keep getting interrupted. Towards the end of the episode, Bryn made her way down into the vault with Danny DeVito, the bank manager, seen previously from other memories, and is down there now. We're going to see a couple of the events that led up to the final beat, but basically, you're all in the bank. Rex and Bryn are in the basement. The wizard, Sam, is in the air vents, and Tag. You've managed to sneak into the manager's office. You are poised over his computer. There is an icon on the desktop. It reads, security.
Hashtag presents until last time on the epic fail Clark sneeze. Other than that, it Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. That was Merc.
Merc.
Thanks, Merc.
That's 3 presents?
3 presents. Thanks, Merc.
Are these
Okay.
presents good for us? Or
There are 20 presents that you could possibly receive. There is a list that has been made for me. The top 20, or the top 10, are for the nice list. The bottom 10 are for the naughty list. When you are opening a present, I will roll this 20-sided dice and tell you which present comes out.
That sounds
So
great.
there's a bit of a random element to it, but all of the presents have been decided in advance, and I have a list of them up here in front of me.
Cool.
Some of them are good.
Okay. That answers my question, but not in the way that you might think it answers my question.
Okay. So you are poised over the computer and you see an icon on the desktop that says security. What do you do?
My tag is trying to essentially cut this bank off from the outside so that any alarms that are triggered don't go wherever alarms go, to the alarm building.
Sure. All right. So the way that you're going to do that is you're going to double click the little security icon.
Okay.
When you press it, a series of submenus pop up, all named for different security functions. There's also a grid of live feeds from numerous bank cameras. Here, you watch a dent in the air vents bungle a spell and shoot dust bunnies out of the air vents. And they fly in the air a little bit before they go up into a clerk's nose. You have just a second to realize that that must be Sam in the air vents when she, in your little camera feed, sneezes and sprays blood all over her coworker. You can hear through the door to this office that she screams, "The summoner must be in trouble." And then she reaches underneath the counter and hits an alarm. On your screen in front of you, Tag, you can see that the system is starting to implement 2 different functions. The first you have 0 control over. It's an internal system that once started cannot be stopped. It is simply to close and seal the bank, the vault, sorry. There is a second system which is now dialing out to call for backup.
Great.
What do you want to do?
I want to essentially hardwire that line into the manager's phone.
Okay. Would you please roll lore?
Make sure I'm not cheating. It's been a little while here. I think I'm pretty Lori. Yeah, I'm I'm pretty Lori. You could put me on a show called House. I'm so Lori.
Oh, I was gonna go with you could drive in the streets of London. You're so Lori.
Hey, this is all well and good. The roll, however, was bad. I am actually not nearly as Lori as I thought I was. That's a 5.
Ooh, starting off good.
I feel like, hang on, Tag's got nothing stored up. Okay, cool. Okay. It's a 5. It's just a 5. Experience. Yay.
Okay. So, mark your experience. You are unable to lock that line out from getting outside the bank, and you can see that it is connecting to an automated service that is informing other people, other entities outside of this bank. However, you are able to also route it to the phone in the office. So while the call did get out, you can see a clerk pick up the emergency line and say, "Hello," but the alarm has started. On your screen, you see that the vault is closing and that Rex has just dove inside to make sure that she makes it in there. And it closes and locks her, Sly, and Danny DeVito inside. But a clerk is saying, "Hello? Guard? Hello?"
Do I have video feed inside the vault?
Yes, you do.
So, but this clerk is not getting through to anyone because I was able to wire it so that Alarm Home Base is talking to the manager's line?
Yes.
Okay.
as you start to have that thought, because you're like, wait, I'm talking to the line inside the house, but I also saw it connect to something else. Another line starts beeping on the phone.
Okay, I pick up.
Hello, this is the company security center in downtown.
Hey, yeah. It's me, Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Broadly speaking.
Pardon?
I said broadly. I was just being said. What do you want? We're running a bank here. It's a busy day, and you gotta call me in the middle of it. You think I don't have better things to do? I am running a bank.
I'm sorry. I was.
You're not sorry. Is it gonna be? You keep wasting my time. Get to the point.
The alarm's going off, and we were just.
I know the alarm's going off. I'm in the bank. The alarm is going off. It's loud. Customers are worried. You got these things on a hairpin trigger.
Is there an emergency?
Virtual advisor, a slot that comes in with a bunch of sage. What is it? Is it a smoke? I'm not worried about a smoke alarm. I've been taking cigarette breaks in my office since 1994. I need you guys to lower the sensitivity. Unless it's carbon monoxide. Do you think it's carbon monoxide?
Let me check. No, it looks like the now that I'm actually looking at it.
That's the silent killer. Carbon monoxide. Can't smell it. Can't taste it. You don't even know what's happening till it's. You know, I had a friend. Wait a minute. Why am I wasting time? I got a bank to run. What did you want?
I'm sorry, sir. Is there an emergency? We were alerted of.
Yeah, there's an emergency. It's called time is money, and you're wasting all of mine. That's the What's your name?
Carlston.
Carlston? Okay. Carlston was the name that you had on a fake ID when you were 17, trying to drink peppermint schnapps you got from the gas station, Carlton. What's your real name?
It's Clancy Carlston.
Clancy Carlston. Okay, well, you're really hiding in plain sight, aren't you, Clancy Carlston?
Sir, I'm sorry. I will admit that this is my third day on the job, but it's the first emergency call I've taken. I guess, would you like us to send a unit?
Would I like you to send a unit? Let me think about this. Yeah, I'd like to waste more of my time, Clancy Carlton, when I got alarms ringing, sage smoking out my lobby, to have some nitwit coming over here asking me what's the emergency, like I'm not already looking at 6 of them. Go home.
All right, you're gonna roll plus charisma to manipulate someone. But this is for the resolution of this event, you know. Like this is gonna.
You should get a +1 for all of that speech.
Yeah, you can get a +1 for that. That was pretty high energy there.
Very detailed.
That is a 11 without the +1.
Okay.
12 with it.
Listen, sir. Again, let me just apologize for wasting your time. We do take the alarm seriously, but I will disable it, and I will make a report that you'd like the sensitivity to be turned down on them.
Clancy, in my mind, I have already hung up the phone. I am doing you the service of physically holding it to my ear while I listen to you ramble on, clearly having not listened to what I'm saying about urgency and priority and time management. Okay? So just imagine that I'm hanging up the phone and do so yourself.
You got it. There will be an executive there soon to unlock your vault, but we will cancel the alarm.
Okay. Who is it? Who's coming?
Honestly, it'll depend on what the chat does, because there's a couple empty slots on the roster for some surprise guests. So
that wasn't me trying to screw you with
more name pimping.
That was me trying to see if I can get any info that might help me cut this person off at the pass. But I hear what you're saying.
I can tell you things about them, but let's not name them yet, just in case chat surprises us. Where the fuck is my pen?
I don't know, man.
It's at your mom's house.
Oh.
Wait, what?
That didn't even make sense, but I'm still laughing.
No, that's what our household says all the time, so it just comes out naturally.
Okay, I found a pen.
It's such a throwback. So you're insinuating that you had some sort of rendezvous with Jesse's mother.
No, I
Holding
said
a pen.
Yeah, when she was interviewing her. Okay, so here's what's up. The guy tells you, Clancy Carlston tells you that it will just be an executive with an escort who is given a temporary pass to use a key to unlock the vault. That is all. They're not sending a unit. They're not suspicious. There's just an executive on the way to unlock the vault because of the false alarm.
Okay.
But they don't know who it's going to be. They just know that that is the protocol.
Okay.
When you hang up the phone angrily, still in character, the top drawer on the desk jiggles open, and you can see through the crack that there's a small box in red wrapping paper with a little bow on it.
Okay.
And a little tag that says, "To tag from Mrs. Claus."
Hashtag present happy holidays Yule.
Oh, happy
Yay.
holidays, Keen.
Dean just tipped a present,
Hey.
That's so many presents.
and Fadior gave us 500 bits.
What does that mean?
I think it's $50.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Sweet.
Whoa, failure.
Failure.
I think, or $5.
Bits.
I don't know.
Bits.
I don't know.
I don't know how bits work.
Whenever we're
$5.
faced
We're
$5.
saying
$5.
thank you just as enthusiastically. I don't give a shit if it's 50 or 5. I'm excited that you're
It's
excited.
500. It's 500 bits.
It's
Whenever
500
we're
bits.
faced
That's
with
the
any
alternative.
kind of question about Twitch or streaming or anything, we just immediately turn into idiots.
Except for Lisa.
Thank you guys so
Except for
much.
Lisa. Okay, so yeah, there's a little gift in there that says "To tag from Mrs. Claus."
Oh, okay.
Mrs. Claus.
Yeah, Tag looks around. And while he has been yapping about emergencies and time management for a long time, you got to also understand that Tag didn't really. Well, I guess we're adding into canon that Santa Claus and Christmas are part of the Void Jumpers universe in the way that they are in American culture. So we'll just let that be temporarily canon tonight. We'll think about it down the
I
line.
didn't say shit about Christmas. I just said Mrs. Claus.
I think if you have a wrapped red present from Mrs. Claus, you are heavily insinuating that the Christmas tradition exists in some form.
Okay, everybody
Don't
on the
fucking
internet.
snarky with me, Clancy Clanderson.
Are you going to open the present?
Yeah, so we're talking about that. So you gotta understand the tag is not, at the Abbey they didn't really celebrate Christmas, and Tag didn't have parents who were living away sending him stuff. This is kind of his first Christmas present ever, and even though he knows that there is a true emergency right now, he's kind of really tickled and opens it.
Okay. I'm going to roll the dice. We don't have any pluses, so it's just going to be a straight roll. I'm going to tell you the result. Okay. It's an 11.
Love it.
Oh.
Inside the box, you find an oversized, comfy sweater.
Oh,
It grants you +1 physical armor, fits on under anything, and feels like you're being held in the arms of your loved ones when being worn.
I love it. That's
What does it look like?
Wow.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
It looks like this sweater that I had in the mid-aughts and have not been able to find for several years. It's red knit, and it has a 3-dimensional skiing scene knitted onto it. So there are like skiers and snowmen and trees and stuff poking out of it. I don't know where that sweater is, y'all, but it was really nice. But I wear it on top of. He immediately puts it on because Tag understands enough about Christmas to know the rule that you wear whatever you get. He puts it on top of his whatever else he's wearing at the moment. Probably.
In the spirit of the holiday, unlike my rule normally, your guys' shit can stack. If a present is on top of your stuff, it can stack past the normal limits. So you can get past 3 armor, you can get past a plus bonus on any of your stats, past a +3. So enjoy your sweater.
Thanks.
That one
That
was from
sweater-
Thing. Thank you, Thing.
was our first present. Thanks, Thing.
You hear on the phone, you see that there's another line blinking, and when you click that, it is the clerk at the front desk who's saying, "Sir, Sir, I don't understand, but you catch on the monitor a view of the vault, and we cut to the vault, where inside is Bryn and Rex, and Sly and Danny DeVito. Now, Bryn has just recently held off biting Danny DeVito's calf and draining him of all of his blood and killing him for a feast. Just barely, after being talked down by Tag. Sly has also mentioned that Slokta would not be able to enter into this memory in her corporeal form and interact with it because the memory isn't Slokta's, it's mine. And at that moment,
Oh yeah.
hold that thought. The alarm goes off, and the vault door closes. Behind you, there is a wall full of lock boxes. They slide open, and from inside a hidden chamber, a robot butler steps out and says, "Bank defenses activated. Intruders inside the vault will now be dealt with." And Sly turns to Danny DeVito and says, "Well, that's new." And he says, "Yeah, shit's been crazy lately." Bryn, what do you do? Oh, allow me to describe this robot butler to you.
Because we're dying to.
Drill hands, metal tuxedo, metal barbershop quartet, pork pie hat, glowing red eyes that look like they might shoot lasers out of them, and 2 wheels instead of feet.
Do I think that Danny DeVito still buys that I'm Slokta?
No. No. One of the last moments we had with Danny DeVito was he said, like, that makes sense.
So he knows that. Okay.
He just knows you're not Slokta.
Right. Well, I'm gonna. Is the robot coming towards us evilly?
Yeah. Hands forward, drills spinning, eyes are warming up, and it says, "I am fully capable of administering punishment on a scale of 1 to 10, but for the sake of the holidays, I've turned it up to 11.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna pull out my big buster sword and try to chop off his drill hands.
All right, roll
Do
it.
you have a question?
Yeah. Does he have downward arcing eyebrows?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, yeah.
And they're
He's
kind
evil.
of like shaved into little, or sanded into little lightning bolts.
Okay, and I'm at a -3 for everything. Is it still daytime?
Yes. Because you're a fucking vampire. A 3, the hanging 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on a fail.
Merc says
When-
you're -1 for everything, not -3.
Oh, well then it's a.
5. Cool, even better.
Choreography to the 5 and the 3.
Okay, so name your fear.
Name my fear.
This first fear that comes to mind.
Spiders.
Cool. The robot butler says, "Your wish is my command," while sidestepping your side-wheeling your giant sword, which bangs off the floor of the vault. You can tell that this thing is super duper hex-proof and very, very sturdy. He wheels to the side and pulls out a silver platter, on top of which is a bunch of tarantulas. He then flips the tray in your direction, and you are covered in spiders.
No.
Rex, what do you do?
Hello, Robot Butler. It's so nice to meet you. I greet him graciously while reaching for my shield, because I'm going to try and knock him off of his wheels, because there's nothing funnier than a creature that's fallen over and can't get up and its wheels are just spinning.
Okay, you psychopath. So he reaches to a stop at your greeting and says, "Analysis. Target is reaching for defensive weapon, which is often used offensively." Roll it.
All right, what am I adding to this?
You're going to be adding. Are you throwing it or hitting with it?
I'm doing like the chart where you charge through.
That'll be strength.
All right. Then that is a 10.
Okay. You knock the robot off its feet, and its little wheels start spinning. But on its way down, it does manage to thrust its drill hands at you and deal 3 harm physical as they bounce off of your shield and roll all over the place and eventually poke you.
Ow!
They're not little like drills. They're like huge cone, cartoony drills the size of waffle cones.
So am I stable now?
What is your armor and health situation?
Well, I was at full health, but my armor is only 2.
So you would have taken
1. Okay, then I'm fine. Now.
Sly and Danny DeVito go back to back and start circling, watching as the robot butler is now prowling around on its little back, trying to scoot up onto its feet. In an attempt to do so, it cannot get purchase and rise, so it's just scooting around on the floor. We cut back. The camera pans out to reveal that we're actually watching this on a security camera, and Tag is sitting there holding the phone as one of the clerks is saying, Sir, I just sneezed and blood exploded all over the place and people ran downstairs, sir. And we zoom back into this to reveal Sam, who is still in the vents above this person who is speaking into the phone. Sam, what do you do?
It's do or die time. I either crawl my way out of here and help out, or I go for double jeopardy and drop right into the belly of the beast. And I think we know what Sam is going to do here. So I'm going to cast a spell. I'm going to use the magic hat. But instead of telling you exactly what I'm going to do, I think it'll be better if I roll and then we take the result from there, if that works for you.
Sure. When you pull your hat off your head, a small parcel falls out of it. Ooh. And it's a little red wrapped package with a tag on it that says, To Sam from Mrs. Claus.
Oh, Mrs. Claus, my favorite non-denominational superhero. I would like to open said package after kind of looking around, and maybe if a discerning viewer would notice that where the dust bunnies were created, there's tiny little dust snowmen that have been made that are just kind of sitting there. The little dust fall still in the vent looks a little bit more like snow during the unwrapping of the package. And in the very distance, you can hear just the little, almost jingling of bells coming from deep in the vents.
This is going to be another straight roll. Who's this second present from? Does anybody know?
Rob, I think? Or
Okay.
Mark. Rob or Mark, one of the two.
I thank both of you.
Oh,
I think Rob
it's a 19.
could be good. Could be bad.
You find a small, smooth stone inside with a hole that has been worn through the middle of it, so that it looks rather like a little peephole.
Okay. Like a ring?
No, it doesn't have as much space as that. When you put your eye up to look through, you can see that you are that the memory is actually constructed of magic. This little thing, it's called a hagstone, is allowing you to see the type of magic that this memory is constructed out of, which is all of the necromantic sort. As Slakta has provided this for you, whatever spell she's using are tethered to this kind of death magic. But this thing will allow you to see necromantic magic and to see the spirits of the dead.
Cool.
Oh.
So maybe like 3 ghosts that might come at the stroke of 1, 2, and 3 to teach me the true meaning of Christmas?
Maybe.
Ooh, Hagstone, my new favorite toy. Excellent.
So you roll your spell.
Yes. So just for those of you watching, I am doing a socially distanced Christmas at my family's house. And even though we have about 8 games here in the house, none of them have dice. So instead of rolling dice, I've gathered playing cards, Joker through 6 of 2 different suits, and will be drawing them at random to determine my dice rolls for the evening. And one of the things about it is you will see the roll before I do, because I will be drawing them live for you. And here we go. Ready? Up. I think that one's good. And this one. Jokers are ones.
Okay. But
All right.
luckily
that's
the wizard has a magic of +2.
Yeah, so that's an 8.
And 8. So which spell were you casting?
I'm using the hat to create an illusory effect.
Okay, yeah, so you've got a partial success. So whatever you create is going to hold up as long as it is not closely examined. What are you trying to make it do?
Well, would you be willing to give me a penalty of the vent section that I'm in collapsing to the floor and allowing the illusion to hold fast?
Tell me that one more time so I can be sure before I say yes or no to this.
Right. So I'm creating a self-contained illusion.
Okay.
But instead of having the illusion be affected by the the mixed success, that the penalty is that the section of vent that I'm in collapses and falls to the floor.
Yeah,
So-
okay, that's fine.
Classic cartoon heists, just the one section. Yeah.
So tell me what
All right.
happens.
All right. So this, the sneeze, the clerk is like, oh no. And then there's like a little like rumble in the vent, and then the whole section just falls out of the vent chain and crashes to the ground, and like dust flies up and it clatters super loud, and then a wrinkly old hand clings to the side of the vent, and an old cadre guy climbs out, clinging to it. I've been in that waiting room for 45 minutes.
There are 2 guards which have approached, and they've leveled void blasters at you. Void rifles, which are a little bit stronger than the pistols you guys have come up against, and one of them says, "Honestly, this is not what I was expecting. Tell me."
I've been trying to open up a checking account, and this is how you treat your customers?
Sir, let me just get this straight. In an effort to get to the front of the line, did you climb up into the air vent to get onto our side of the bank?
Don't you put this on me. I went through the front door like everyone else. I don't know why you put it on the roof. I had to go all the way around to the side of the building, and then it just went right in. You didn't even have any complimentary mints or a sign or velvet ropes. What kind of operation? I would like to speak with I have so much change that I need to have wrapped.
The guard says, "All right, don't you move, you crazy old fool." And he looks over his shoulder to the woman who's holding the phone. She shrugs and says into the phone, "Did you get all that, boss?" And that is what you hear, Tag.
Yeah, I heard it. What's with the blood?
I snuffed up magical dust bunnies and then blood exploded out my nose.
All right, sweetheart. You cannot be sneezing blood onto your coworkers. That it's a violation of so many workplace safety standards.
I apologize. I'm gonna get a handkerchief soon, but
I'm gonna get a handkerchief soon. Okay. Hey, honey, our house burned down. I'm gonna go get a fire extinguisher. Gonna get a handkerchief soon, please.
what should we do about this old man who's here? He
Who
climbed
you
our
calling?
air vent and he wants to open a
It's not
account.
you, old man, who tried to get through the, you know.
Who
I'm
are you calling? Calling old. Let me speak with your manager.
It's okay. Put him through. I'll handle this.
She lifts up the phone and walks it over
Okay.
and hands it to the old man. And now
Okay, the
she's standing there with the 2 guards who still have the guns leveled on the old man.
Okay, the old man takes the phone and he puts it to his ear, obviously upside down, so that he's speaking into the earpiece and the mouthpiece is at his ear. Hello?
Sir.
Hello?
Sir, are you okay?
Hello?
You took quite a fall there.
Is this a joke? I hand the receiver back to the teller again, and then immediately take it back without her letting her fix it. Hello?
You know, sir, it's not a joke, but I have a business proposition for you. You ever heard of the Continuum
up.
Funniest Home Videos?
Speak up! I can't hear you. Well, let me try the other.
Have you ever heard of the Continuum's Funniest Home Videos?
1 second. Let me switch ears.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, yeah, it's much better. Oh. The clerk just comes over and turns it right set up for him. Oh, thank you, dear. Yes. What? The Continuum?
Sir. And I say to him, and I go, Sam, it's me. I thought I had to pretend to be the manager, but I realized it's just us on the call. That was kind of like when your friend is in the library and they're calling you and you're the one whispering. Yeah, I don't know why I was doing it.
Oh, don't you take that tone with me, young man.
Okay, sorry. Wait, fuck. It's not. I know we have to speak in code. Stuff seems really bad. I'm going to try to get down to the vault. They're locked in there.
All right, I will open up an account immediately. Thank you for your assistance.
Yes, sir. I mean, Sam, fuck. This is so confusing.
All right. He looks around for somebody to hand the phone to.
The clerk takes it back, hangs it up, and says, right this way, sir. And she waves away the guards, who start to try and clean up the vent. And you can hear one of them say, clearly, because it's hard for him to do this voice in a whisper, this looked like my job to you? And you were led over to a desk. And we got back down to the vault.
That was lovely.
That was brilliant.
Bryn,
Yeah.
you are
Covered in
covered in
spiders.
tarantulas,
Oh.
and you are stumbling backwards and smash into the wall of deposit boxes. Safety boxes. What the fuck are those things called?
Safety
Safety
deposit box.
deposit boxes.
Safety deposit boxes.
You had
I
all
keep
of the right
Jinx,
words.
poke, give me a coke.
I keep wanting to call them social security boxes. Bryn, what do you do about the spiders?
I'm gonna turn into mist.
Okay. Roll it.
What do I add to this? It's a vampire.
Add turn to mist. Oh, it doesn't require a fucking roll. You just are mist.
Thank you.
All of the spiders fall through you and onto the ground. The moment that they hit the ground, they turn into black smoke and evaporate.
I'm gonna try to like maneuver my smoke into the robot's gears. See if I
Okay.
can like navigate it.
That is going to require a roll. I think
Okay.
that's going to be more of a plus magic for you to be able to use your strange new form as a weapon.
So a -1. Cool.
That's right.
It's a 7. Finally.
You are able to get into the robot's gears, and you can tell that you will be able to influence it, but you will not have direct control. What exactly is it you are trying to do?
I want to. I want to get electricity that's fueling him to run backwards. I want to invert it.
Okay. You see, Rex, this warrior covered in spiders turn to mist. All of the spiders fall through and dust up. And this mist finds the robot who is currently squealing around on the floor. And you can hear him say, "This is rather unfortunate," as he starts to go around backwards and spin around in reverse, and his drills change as well. Before you're able to get up, one of the social security boxes unlocks behind you. You can hear a little click, and the drawer pops open. When you look inside, there is a small red package with a tag on it that says "To Rex from Mrs. Claus."
I'm deeply suspicious of a present. I mean, I've been existing in this boy jumpers world my entire life, and I'm deeply suspicious of anything good just popping up in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of shit that's going on right now.
Yes.
But I still quickly grab the present, and I smell it, and I shake it, and I don't immediately sense danger, and so I decide to open it.
Okay. Since you take a closer look at it, you do smell pine. It is cold to the touch, and there's a rime of frost at the creases of the wrapping paper. This is going to be another straight roll on the present sheet.
That's nice.
14 is what you rolled.
Good rolls on the presents, y'all.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe not.
What would this look like? You open it up, and inside there is a small sticker of a shiny gold star. This will count as one universal favor. It may be used to automatically succeed at asking a favor of any character in the story. The GM's discretion on the size of the favor. But you take the little gold star and put it onto your chest. You can use that whenever you'd like. There is a robot butler squealing around here with two memory characters spinning around in circles. What would you like to do, Rex?
So what actions, if any, are Sly and Danny DeVito taking at this point?
They've not made any offensive actions. They seem to have gotten into a position to defend themselves. Sly, this just came to me. I didn't have this in mind before. Sly has drawn a weapon, and it is a gun blade, like you would see from Final Fantasy VIII. So it's a massive revolver that's built into a sword, and she's just pulled that out. And Danny DeVito has pulled out his car keys and put them between his fingers.
Nice.
And they're just like ready for anything that this robot butler is going to bring, but they haven't done anything yet.
I am momentarily blinded by lust at the sight of the gun blade.
Of course.
And then refocus my energies back on this robot butler that's whirling around.
Speaking backwards like a reversing VHS tape.
That's very funny. And I try hard not to laugh at it, because now that it's down on the ground, I do feel a little sympathy for it, even though it was very clearly going to try and harm us.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a little bad about knocking it down, but not bad enough to not, let's see. I think I'll try and charge through it again, just because I want to try and avoid. I don't want my shield to get hurt by those whirling
drill hands. Okay. Sure.
So I'm going to try a more direct strike.
If you're trying to move it around, there's not much stuff to do in the vault, but the secret compartment that it came out of is still open. You could try to like air hockey it into that if you'd like.
I love that idea. I'm definitely going to try and do that.
Okay.
All right. So I wind up my shield and I swing it to give it the robot a great big whack in that direction. Oh, actually, I've worked out the physics of it, so I'm really trying to ping pong it off one wall and ping pong it off another wall, and then
bang shot for sure.
Yeah. All right. What's that?
I didn't say it. Whatever.
Oh, a tip came in.
What is it?
It's from Merc for $20 for a present, and she says, "Guess who didn't read the rules before making items? I'm so sorry, y'all. It never even occurred to me to do it."
To do what?
I don't know.
She didn't read the rules before reading the items?
She's being overly kind. We're all about not reading.
Thanks, Mark.
She also sent him to me, and I okayed it. She also.
Are people's audios breaking up, or is that just on my end?
I was hearing a little bit.
Yeah, it's all mine.
I can hear you all fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be working out. Anyway, that was a 9.
All right. That's going to allow you to smash this robot back towards the little cubby hole and bounce it in. But you do take another drill smash from the hands as you are trying to hit what is a very... It's like when you take one of those little cars that you pull backwards and then let go. One of those things. So there is a little bit of a messy quality to it. But you do bounce it into the cubby hole where it slides to a stop. Bryn, you do feel yourself being slid across the ground and smashing into the cubby hole with the robot that you are still misted inside.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that.
What would you like to do, Bryn?
Me? I think I will come out of the robot and reform.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look at Danny DeVito. I'm gonna be like, "Are you gonna step up and do something, or just sit there like an idiot?"
And he says, "Oh yeah, yeah!" And
You got this. You got this.
He runs over and cocks back his arm, and then pulls a card out of his pocket and slides it in a little slot, and the little secret cubby hole closes. And you can hear the robot get to its feet. Then there's some silence. And then you hear a little ting, 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 ting. Excuse me. I have not yet completed my task of securing the inside of the vault. If you wouldn't mind releasing me, I seem to be stuck in my secret cubby hole. Hello? Hello?
Enter rest mode.
Just a second. Did you just say enter rust mode?
Oh, I said enter rest with an E mode.
Enter rest mode. Yes, the perpetrator is asking me to enter into my rest mode. Roll.
Surely there are no fail-safes on this robot.
Roll plus charisma, please, Slokta.
-1, great. I have leveled up. FYI, yes, definitely
Okay.
leveled up.
You choose what you'd like. You can hear choose what you in a rather snarky. What'd you say?
It sounds like the chat as well is also hearing some freaky audio stuff.
I'm gonna drop out and come back in.
Oh, I don't think it's just on you. I think it's coming from all of us. But maybe this is we find like a good chapter, an episode cliffhanger. Do a quick take our intermission a little earlier than otherwise. Come back in.
Okay. Yeah. So you hear silence from inside the little cubby hole as the robot Butler lets you give it a directive as Slokta, and then there is a spark and a grinding noise, and you see 2 drill hands pierce through the wall of safety deposit boxes and pull them open. And it says, "I'm sorry, madam, but the only person I take my orders from is justice." And we will take a brief intermission.
We'll be right back.
Her name's Rex because she wrecks hearts and bodies.
She says, "Hey, welcome back. Come on in."
Hey, you look clean.
Thank you.
That's a really cool harpoon gun. Did you make that yourself?
I did, actually, yeah.
I think to accurately describe it would turn the stomachs of some of our listeners, but I'm going to attempt to do so anyway. And I say, I don't know any magic, but I used to fry ants back on my planet with this guy.
You're a sadist.
Matt Vansel.
Does it make me magical?
Red card.
Oh no. No.
So you're out 5 minutes because you said by 5 p.m. Wait, actors are like chili. By 5 p.m. they're shit.
Fair enough. It's a fair cup.
You in.
The following is a paid advertisement.
You all had the stew?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I need everybody to make an easy constitution check.
Are you kidding?
You all rolled ones. That's okay. It's just stew. They serve it at the inn all day long. No big deal.
Be fine. Okay. What? What?
Your entire party dies of dysentery.
Gosh, we have builds that should let us survive that, but our dice betray us. I wish there were a way to show these dice what we really thought of them.
Has this ever happened to you? Your dice just hate you. You've tried everything to get them to roll well.
That's right. You can do this. Just let me know what you need. Massage, bubble bath. You could go on a date after this. Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese.
Seducing.
Hey, come on, baby. Don't be like that. We're together. And the mood is right.
Reasoning.
You are a 20-sided die. The odds of rolling a 1 are 1 in 20. Now, the odds of rolling 5 ones in a row are 1 in 3.2 million. Why? Why are you sucking? Stop sucking, please.
Threatening.
Oh, really? You think I won't do it? I've done it before. I've done it before, and I'll do it to you.
And even dark offerings.
To the gods of blood, I offer you this sacrifice.
Then you need Die.Club, the ultimate in dice retribution services. Here's how it works, and some testimonials.
So the best thing about Die.Club is that they fit the punishment to the crime. For example, my rogue walking down a dungeon corridor. I roll a spot check. I roll a 1. I fail to see the gelatinous cube. I walk into it, get dissolved completely. Oh! Damn you, Die!
All I had to do was jump out of a tree. I had max ranks and tumble. I rolled a 1.
For a long time, I was just angry at the dice. I wanted to punish them, myself. But it's too hard. It hurt my hand. It hurt the tools I was trying to use. I even ate one of the die one time.
I had so many ranks in balance. So many ranks in balance. A suspension bridge over a pit of lava. I fail the roll. Obviously a 1.
So, I send my die off to Die.Club. Now my die is sitting in a jello mold in someone's refrigerator in North Carolina. Thanks, Die.Club.
Take the offending die. Place it and seal it in the provided envelope. Mail it off to Die.Club.
I put my die in an envelope and sent it off to Die.Club, and a week later I got its mangled corpse after being put through a wood chipper. Now I have time for my real friends. My Sailor Moon body pillow and I have gotten very close.
It wasn't just the feeling of satisfaction I got knowing that my die had been utterly destroyed. I got back together with my girlfriend. I got the idea to get that bike tire repair kit, and I haven't had a herpes outbreak in 5 months. Who knew how good my life could be thanks to Die.Club?
Thanks to Die.Club, I don't have to put myself in danger to put my dice in danger.
Everyone likes Die.Club.
Thanks, Die.Club. You gave me the vengeance I was looking for. I recommend it for everyone. Die.Club worked for me.
And me.
And me.
And me.
Go to Die.Club today. That's Die.Club. Hurry and visit Die.Club. There's nothing like the amazing new Die.Club. In case you missed it, that's Die.Club. Die.Club. It's a club where die. Act now and you'll be able to visit Die.
echoing now. Lisa, you fix that fucking microphone. We're all NGs.
Oh, there we go.
Whose microphone?
I don't know. Okay. So, Robot Butler just destroyed the cubbyhole doors and tore them open and said that the only orders he takes are from Justice. You are still fighting this mini-boss, which was summoned into existence by Wags, who's the shit. Thank you, Wags. Bryn, what do you do?
I only had to go.
What happened?
More presents.
Who is?
It's Jeeves.
It's the robot.
It's the robot butler. That was Merc. She tipped $110 and said presents times 3.
Oh my gosh.
Shit.
And gingerbread man. She's summoning the gingerbread man. She said sending these now in case I can't later, but please feel free to sprinkle them in wherever narratively relevant. Here's some
Lisa, before you are able to take a
Thanks, Merc.
Merc, you are the coolest.
Thanks, Merc.
The spirit of giving.
Gingerbread man.
Bryn, before you're able to do anything, and you're just staring down this drill-handed, potentially laser-eyed robot butler,
Whoa.
a portal bleeds through reality's fabric right next to you, letting out a blast of cold wind. You catch a glimpse of a picturesque winter landscape and a small alpine village on the side of a cliff. But before you can see anything else, out steps a gaggle of 3-foot-tall gingerbread men with candy for eyes and ties made of nougat.
They seem like allies, little ginger summons, right?
Bryn, make a dex check.
That's a 6.
Right, mark experience. What is the first item on your list of items?
Huh?
What is your first item on your list of items?
What list of items?
You just have a bunch of shit. What's the first one on the list?
For the summoner, for the warrior, or for the vampire?
Warrior or vampire?
Okay. Warrior Bryn. Gold.
How much?
Did we give it all to
Flockler,
Flockler?
We spent it all. I think Sam has like 25 or something.
Yeah, I have 0 gold. Sorry.
Okay,
I
what's
have
below
some raw
that?
meat.
Okay. 2 of these things jump on top of you and steal your sword.
No!
They pry it out of your hands and lug it back into the portal. It takes both of them to take it. The portal shrinks in size as the 2 of them disappear into a flurry of snow. The other 4 rush Rex. Rex, make a dex check.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Oh no, maybe. Oh. Oh no.
The hanging tree, the mistletoe 3. So, what's the first item on your list?
Well, I think I'm out of gold, so my next item is my enchanted scroll tube.
Okay.
Oh my god. This is a
All
nightmare.
4 of them climb up onto you and rip this scroll tube off of its hanger and start to run back towards the portal. You cannot cast spells without your scrolls, Rex, unfortunately. And they disappear into the portal, which winks closed. The cold air is cut off, but there is a faint smell of gingerbread in the air, and your items are missing.
Oh god.
Son of a bitch.
We cut back to the lobby where there is an old man sitting at a desk with this clerk who's wiping her nose with a brand new plaid handkerchief. And she...
I'm unclear how, when the savings, if whether or not when you invest my money, if all 10% is kept here at the bank, or whether dividends are paid back directly to me.
Sir, as I've explained to you countless times at this point, your money is exchanged into gold pieces, which we hold in the vault. Interest remains in the account until you remove it from there.
Yes, but according to the FDIC, a certain amount of this should be backed by gold. So I'm uncertain how my money is being exchanged for gold if the gold is what is supposed to be backing the money in the first place.
Honestly, I've never been asked this before. So if you'll just give me one moment, I will get to the bottom of it for you, sir. She stands up and walks away. You can see that the guards have made pretty good headway on the cleanup. One of them's grumbling under his breath, though the volume of that is pretty high. And he says, "Hey, can you believe this on a holiday weekend? They're making me clean up a vent?" And she walks over to the door and knocks on it. And Tag, you can hear right outside that somebody's knocking on your door.
Who is it?
It's the clerk who we've referenced many times, whose name is Sylvia.
Sylvia, that was the weirdest way to introduce yourself I have ever heard in my entire life as a bank manager.
Sir, I hate to bother you, but this old man, is it okay if I come in?
Let me. Oh, jeez. I'm watching on the video feed. I'm watching. Look, this is. We got security. Did you trigger the security alarm?
That was me. Yes.
So let me get this straight. You sneezed blood on a coworker, and then in response to that, triggered the alarm.
Yes, Bran has been sent home. That is the coworker who I sneezed blood on.
Okay, we have got to talk about how you reference yourself and your coworkers. It is beyond strange. Honestly, I don't even remember your name because of how fucking weird you told me what it was.
Sylvia.
Listen, Sylvia, we've got issues, okay? They're going to be shutting down this bank. The alarm is sending an executive. The alarm company is sending an executive over pronto. This is we need to get. Get some of those security guards in here pronto.
Okay. Yes, sir. She returns to the desk and tells you, Sam, sir, I will be right with you. And goes over and
No, you are with me. You're with me right now. If you walk back in there, I can't release you unless you send me somebody to hold your place. Otherwise, I won't be able to get to the bottom of this APR financing. You offer all sorts of great deals on these credit cards, but when it comes to answering the simplest questions about your civic responsibility and how it pays back into the community, everybody acts like they don't know anything.
Yeah, you're telling this to her as she's walking over to the security guards, letting them know, and walking back. And you kind of follow them with your eyes. As the security guard does get to the door and the clerk goes to stand off to the side, your eyes scan across the lobby, Sam, and you see that there is a company guard who has arrived wearing a suit that is not specific to the bank and is opening the door for a woman who walks in. She is dressed rather well, and she is a little familiar, though she looks a lot younger than the last time you saw her. It is Shavana.
Whoa! Fuck!
And she walks to the bank, and she looks upset. Tag, you hear on the other side of the door, yeah, what do you need there, boss?
I need a goddamn hiring manager because I have somehow managed to have the weirdest roster of employees in this GD bank. Come in, close the door behind you. And Tag is still invisible.
Okay. He opens the door and steps in, and it slides closed behind him, and he says, "Hello?"
I'd like to make an ambush attack here. My goal is, I know that it's a memory, and we don't need to worry about killing. You know, you explained the whole like Matrix logic of that. I understand, but I think flavor-wise, it's still more interesting to incapacitate rather than kill. Wait, this is just becoming a rather kooky bank heist. I'd like the body count to remain relatively PG-13 as we like maybe hog tie somebody and have them bound and gagged here. Anyway, so I'd like to sacrifice some lethality for efficacy in incapacitating them.
Sure. This will just be dex then. You won't be dealing damage. It'll just be a maneuver. Okay. Your dex.
Okay, so I think I got a lot of bonuses here. So let me just stack them up. 10 on the roll, plus 2 dex, plus 1 for stealth is a 13 on the attack. Sorry, yes. And then I get a plus. So, I'm sorry, I can't, with the audio stuff, I don't know if you're talking to me right now. Or
I'm not.
Okay. And then I get a +2 harm for attacking while hidden. And I'm just like pluses up out the wazoo.
Sure. So I think what happens is you're able to get behind this guy. He squints and looks around the office and says, "Hey, who's there?" But you grab him. Doing an action while invisible will drop it. Right? You are invisible, right? It will drop.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, so it does drop your invisibility, but you're able to get a sleeper hold on this guy and lower him, Last of Us 2 style, without the switchboard to the neck, down to the ground.
Right.
And he is snoring like this. Whoosh! Whoosh! And he's asleep. And when he let him go and he rolls over onto his back, you can see that little red parcel pops out of his back pocket, which has a tag on it that says, "To Tag from Mrs. Klaus."
Overjoyed, Tag just rips into it with feverish. Pause and address that. So just let us know.
Merc says audio's out.
Audio's out?
I'm gonna mute and listen.
Hey, Lisa, this is us doing a test. Muting and listening.
We're all here stepping up to the mic to tell you some stuff.
What's the word?
It does seem to get pretty herky-jerky when we all talk on top of each other in particular.
Yeah, it was okay for just a little bit, and then it got real weird.
How come it's playing to us? Is that just Skype?
We're hearing the audio from Skype itself, the native client, not what's being passed into the stream.
Yeah, we've not streamed from Skype before, so that could be where the issue is. We usually stream from OBS.
Okay.
It sounds like chat did not hear what the roll was, which is, we'll just add this, a natural 1. So that's an exciting cliffhanger gameplay-wise to have here. I guess I know that it's kind of, the goal is to always push on with the show, but if it is in fact just not working, I just want to see if it's worth taking another minute or two to explore solutions, because I have a blast doing this. I want to keep doing it.
like I want to do this in the rain and the sleet, as long as you guys can't hear us. But if that's the case that you can't, then I want you to hear us.
I'm just looking at Lisa, who's like looking at chat, possibly.
You're still muted, Lisa.
Mark says we hear you.
Okay, cool. Well, just let us know, y'all, because we hear ourselves.
So Tag incapacitates this guard, and a little parcel falls out of his back pocket, which Tag rips into enthusiastically. This one, too, is cold to the touch. There's rime of frost on the creases of the wrapping paper, and it smells like pine. But when you open it up, you find inside, I'm just going to read you the ones that you should just know, and you guys should all feel inspired to use these devices today. You get a ring of hard places. For the price of a hard move from the GM, the wearer may negate all harm done by a single source.
Oh, cool.
And then the ring shatters upon use. Okay.
So ring of hard move. I give you a hard move, and I get to negate all.
Yes, and then the ring shatters. I think that the ring looks like. What does the ring look like, Tag? And then
it is like someone has taken cardboard and stapled it together really overly enthusiastically. It is barely holding itself together. Cutting the shared screen. Okay. And like he puts it on his finger, and it seems like it is just the crudest, made by a bunch of baby ferrets kind of thing. But as soon as he puts it on, he does feel that it's got a kind of risky, chaotic sense of power to it.
Okay.
He's like, I didn't think this would work, but I'm feeling myself on this ring.
The clerk, sensing that maybe you'll be talking to the security guard for a while, you see on the monitor, Tag, the clerk returns to the desk with Sam. And we cut back down into the vault, where some items have just been stolen by gingerbread men, and there is still a robot butler here for you to deal with. What would you like to do, Rex?
Unmute myself. Ha ha! There, I have done that. Wizarding complete. I think, unfortunately, Robot Butler is the most damaging thing that's currently, like, I don't know how to open a portal without any of my spells at the moment, so I think the smart course of action would be to try and take out this Robot Butler.
He says, "How about you?"
And I say, it's my understanding that typically a butler is someone who provides assistance in a situation. Is that not correct?
Indeed, I assist the company.
Fantastic! We are here with the company working to determine if all of these security systems are operational and how they're functioning. So the fact that you were willing to attack us means that it's going great.
The little red eyes scan you, and he says, "Suspicion warranted. Roll plus charisma."
Oh, I'm not very charismatic.
You get a +1 because you are, in fact, a member of the company and have executive privileges.
Exactly. Ha-ha! That is a 9.
Okay. He will do what you want, but you have to give him something right now at this moment to prove that you mean it. How do you convince Robot Butler that you are who you say you are?
Listen, Robot Butler. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. They're going to be running these drills all month long. So you're going to have to be ready and oiled and primed and raring to go every day. Now, what I'm going to do, because you have performed so admirably in today's session is give you a little break. I'm gonna, your flange has fallen off there a little bit, so I'm gonna tighten that, give you some motor oil, and make sure that you're ready to go for tomorrow, because that's when the real bigwigs come to town.
Interesting. I will return to my secret cubby hole now. I have logged the intrusion of gingerbread men through portals. Normally,
Oh, yeah. Do you know how to get them? Do you know anything about that?
the only way to open a portal inside this vault is by using the most powerful magic of all. Holiday cheer. And he turns around and goes back into his little cubby. The doors do not close because they're broken, so he sticks his drill hands back in the holes that he made previously and closes them, and then pokes a little eye through the hole and says, "By the way, my eyes totally would have shot lasers at you if you tried any ranged attacks." And then backs up. The robot butler is defeated for now, but still totally alive in that cubby. So if you fuck up, there is a chance he will be back. But for now, the robot butler is locked up.
He's really cute. I didn't want to totally destroy him.
Okay. So you are now in the vault, free of robot butler, with Sly. There's too many fucking NPCs at this point. With Sly and Danny DeVito. But before we get to that, Sam, you watch Shavana cut directly through the lobby, signal for the door to be opened, and when it takes too long, she just grabs the handle and gives it a half-hearted pull. But the door pops open because Tag had rigged the lock earlier. And she looks down at it and looks back up and opens it and walks into the lobby. And she turns to Sylvia and says, "All right, where's the boss?" And Sylvia points to the office. Tag, you watch as Shavana enters into the lobby and goes into the back room and then walks up to the door and tries to open it with her executive card. What do you do?
I try to. This is kind of a first for Tag. I try to strip the guard. I guess I would be stripping myself in the process. I try to change clothes with the guard and stash him in the whatever sort of closet thing I have. Tie myself up with basically swap myself in his position, tie myself up on the ground, and when she knocks, I just go.
Just roll me a dex here, just to see how well you did everything. We're using dex because I think it would have needed to be a very fast maneuver that you would have started the moment you walked in.
You're challenging Tag's ability to take his pants off quickly.
I'd like to help out and buy him some more time to help out the roll.
Absolutely. Let's get the result and then see if you need to. If he rolls a success, you won't have to put yourself into danger, but we'll see.
I'm interested in narratively just seeing that either way. That is a 12.
Okay.
But I'd like to. We don't need to put Sam on the line, but I want to see.
How would you do it, Sam?
Oh, I marched right over. Oh, come, she gets to come to the front of the line. We have all been waiting here. I was in a bed for 45 minutes, and they didn't even offer me a cup of coffee. What makes you think that you could just waltz in here like it's your bank when there's paying customers waiting in line for 45 minutes in a vent without even a cup of coffee? How many people in this place even can believe the types of nerve that one has to have for such a thing? Like, are you even listening to the needs of your constituency?
Now, I know what I want to do, but I'm going to give you a chance to stop me. So you're going to roll plus charisma.
Oh, you mean draw plus charisma?
Yes.
Yeah, baby, you got a regular old gambit over here.
All right. Ooh, that one feels spicy. That one feels spicy.
Let's see what your plus is, Sam.
Oh.
Your charisma is a +1, so it is a partial success. She places a hand firmly but gently on your chest and moves you back 12 inches and says to her associate, got a call on the way in that the alarm was false. But now she's listening to the story about a customer being inside a vent. She's looking at the crashed vent. She's looking at the bloodstains that are still on the ground. There's a lot happening, and she's thinking about the door. And so she says, "Sir, would you please accompany me into the office so that we may speak privately?"
Absolutely. It's been a long time since I've had such a gentle caress.
Great. She waves her card in front of the door, and it beeps open, and we have Tag laying on the ground, bound and gagged. Shavana wastes no time, pulls a gun, points to her person, and says, "Secure the area." And he directs the other guard who was back there, and the two of them start sweeping. They get all of the employees in one area. They don't let any of the people leave. And all of a sudden, it's just you guys, Tag, and this old man. She stoops down, pulls the bandana off of your mouth, and says, "What happened?"
I heard in my head the voice that I started using.
Yeah.
And I'm going to honor that instinct.
Please do.
It's... So Tag, who looks like a 22-year-old kid, says, "Son, I can't." He says, It's a big robbery. They were robbing them. They tied me up. I've been working this job for going on 45 years. About to get my pension. There's a big robbery. He's a squatty, bald little fella. A little bit porky. Looks like he could play an animated goat. He's in the vault right now. He's robbing the joint.
Roll plus charisma.
I will. Oh, what is charisma? I think Casey's old man was just so intoxicating that it just came out. My charisma is okay. That's a mixed success. It's a mixed success.
Yeah, so she grabs you by the shirt collar and lifts you up with surprising strength.
The bones!
Then has a blade in her hand before you know where she pulls it out and cuts the binds on the back of your wrists.
Ooh, that
and frees
was
you.
The softest caress I have experienced in years.
She looks at you, then looks at Sam, then looks back at you and pulls out a second gun, Void Blaster, and hands it to you. And she says, "He's in the vault?"
"He's in the vault."
"What's with this guy?" And she points to Sam.
"This customer? He'd been waiting for 45 minutes in a vent."
"Detain this man," she says to her friend, her escort. And Sam, you are, as this person comes to this very elderly person, puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Sir, I'm going to need you to come."
Unhand him! Have you ever? You know how brittle we are at this age?
My lateral deltoid has been shattered by this hooligan. Have you no respect?
This isn't the kind of operation that we run here at this branch of this bank. It's like that. She is working for the alarm system, right?
Shavana?
Yeah.
Shavana is a company executive who's been dispatched to open the vault.
But working for the company, the security system company.
Yeah, that would be like a sub-chapter of the company. They would handle an internal security, but this would be like a branch within. But yes.
I'm just confirming that she is not an executive of the bank. She is an executive of the security company.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Well, because if you remember, I was trying to give you incentive to not just quietly and gently dispatch all guards. This is a company bank, so everybody who works here does work for the company, and they hold some rather nasty stuff inside.
Yeah, like some of the worst customer service that I've ever experienced in all my life. If you wanted to protect your money, just advertise how poorly you treat your customers.
You are both led towards the stairs and start being brought down. They're being rather gentle with Sam because of his outburst. They're afraid of a lawsuit, but he is being watched very closely, and you're expected to follow along as an employee of the company, Tag. And you are all being led downstairs towards the vault. But we cut back to inside the vault. What are you guys doing in the vault?
I know this is crazy, but we need holiday cheer, and we need the most magical, powerful kind, and I'm pretty sure that if we gathered hands in a circle and sang, we would open the portal. We could sing the most holiday cheer Christmas song of all time.
I think you might be right. Let us try. She holds out her hand to you, Bryn.
Sly?
Yes.
I grab it.
And to you, Rex.
I dubiously take it.
And Danny DeVito is standing outside the circle. Would you like... He says, yeah, all right. I think this is pretty crazy, honestly. But, yeah, okay. And he grabs your hand and grabs Rex's hand. And Sly says, now, what song would you like to sing?
What's the most Christmassy song on your planet?
In Void Jumpers universe,
yeah,
we haven't really put much thought into holiday or religion. So I imagine that it is Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. Now, I personally know the chorus. So if you wouldn't mind getting us started, Bryn.
I don't know how that song starts. I was thinking more like raindrops on roses.
I'm sorry, Rex. Did you know how it goes?
Yes. Best Christmas present ever.
I stay out too late. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say.
Ooh.
That's what people say.
Yeah. Shake it off.
I don't do many days, but I can't make them stay. At least that's what people say. That's what people say.
Yeah.
But I keep cruising. Can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I've got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. Cause the player's gonna play. And the hater's gonna hate. Baby, I'm just gonna shake it off.
Please tell me that opened a portal.
There's this. Okay, so a swirl of fiery energy appears in the circle at your feet. And you can see that a portal is tearing itself into this vault. Where did you have in mind, Rex? You were the only one singing. What were you thinking about?
I was just thinking about getting Lisa's giant sword back because I know what it's like to be overly attached to a large weapon. And to have that taken away from you, that's awful.
Okay, yeah, so the floor disappears underneath your guys' feet and a large portal appears, and you all fall out of the vault into a large bank of snow. And you can see... I gotta skip forward now. Let me just read you what I have prepared. When you... you find yourself in a winter wonderland. When you step through, it is night. There you go, Lisa. Snowing and freezing cold. You've arrived in the outskirts of a tiny alpine village. On the cliffs above, you can see what could only be Blight Manor in its prime, and it looms over the town in glowing white terror. And we cut back to the outside of the vault, where Sam and Tag are being led by Shavana to the door. And she says, all right, if they're still in there, let's just handle this quick. Let's switch these Void Blasters to kill. I don't want to take any chances. And honestly, I don't care who's on the other side of the door. And she switches her to kill, and she looks at you, Tag. All right, good. That's definitely 4 of us with Void Blasters on kill.
How come I don't get one?
Listen, old man.
Why did we bring the other octogenarian?
Because I'm pretty sure this is an accomplice of whoever's inside, creating a distraction so they could have slipped downstairs unnoticed. I'm no fool, okay? I'm a company executive.
We brought Sylvia down here. I'd say sneezing blood on your coworkers is an awful distraction.
Okay, listen, strangely old young guard. I wasn't here when any of the other stuff happened.
Syndrome.
What was that?
Nothing.
I'm sorry. Did you say that it was called Benjamin Button syndrome?
You are not allowed to ask me about any underlying health conditions. You can't do that.
I'm just going to ask you one question. If you have Benjamin Button syndrome and you look young but sound old, how old are you?
The movies, you can't go by the movie. The movie simplified everything. No one wanted the real story of this crippling disease. Who has Void Blasters? Not Slakta. Shavana. We've got too many evil villains.
No, dude.
Shlaka.
Shavana. Tag. Who else has Void Blasters?
The escort.
The escort?
And a guard.
Oh, the other guard from the bank.
Yeah.
But not me. I'll just use my razor sharp wit. Ha ha.
Why doesn't the other guard from the bank realize that I'm clearly not the other guard that was working here today?
At that moment, he makes eye contact with you and winks.
I wink back.
And you can see as he reaches up and grabs his beard and pulls it down. It's actually Horace, that guy that you met a couple times in the other memories. And you recognize him immediately. And he puts it back up and winks again.
So he wasn't stroking his beard. He was like Santa Claus style pulling down a fake beard.
Just for you to see.
What? I don't even understand. This is for sure our like loopiest, looniest episode we have ever done. I'm here for it. I love it.
Okay, so Shavana does not trust you anymore, but is not making a move. She's just taken out her card again. It's different than the one that she used to open Danny DeVito's office door. This one is jet black, and it has a glowing purple company sign on it and a serial number. That is it. She waves it in front of a pad that you didn't even know was inset in the wall, and it unlocks the vault. The wheel spins, and you can hear multiple wards and mechanical security measures unlocking. And when the door swings open, you can see that there are safety deposit boxes hanging open, There's a door in back that's just had 2 holes punched through it. Like tire squeal marks all over what's left of the floor. And in the middle of the room, a huge glowing portal that has been opened, and cold air is pouring through like steam as it reaches into the vault. At that moment, the back doors to the cubby slide open, and the robot butler says, "Is this part of the..." Everybody who's got a just opens up and fries the thing. And the robot butler
so hard to keep it.
Smashes into the back of the room and says, "This truly must be justice." And his laser eyes crackle. A small beam shoots out of them. And he falls over, destroyed. And Shavana says, "What in the blinding fuck is going on inside this bank? This is by far the craziest call I've ever received."
It's your security systems.
Yeah. And at that moment, one of the drawers pops open, like we saw when Rex and Bryn were in there, and a little present flips out onto the ground. And Shavana picks it up, and it says, "To Shavana from Mrs. Claus." And she says, "What the hell?" And she opens it.
And Tag goes, "Open it! It's a Christmas present."
Okay, she rolls a 7. And inside is a small plush toad doll, like a amphibian. She, upends the box into her palm, and when the toad lands in her palm, it comes to life and bites her. And you can see her energy drain out of her as she receives blight sickness. Her gun is suddenly too heavy for her to hold, and she goes down on one knee and goes, "What the fuck is going on?" and passes out. Horace uses the butt of his weapon to smash out the other guard and points his rifle at Sam and says, "What do you think? Should we waste him?"
You'd be wasting your ammo there. I have a question for you, sir. How could you betray your union in this way? You don't understand how many people have toiled countless hours to provide you with the services and benefits you receive from such a secure position. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Who was he referring to in his pronouns?
He's asking you if he should waste Sam.
Me? What?
You guys just winked at each other. You had a moment. He just took out the other guard, and now he's pointing his rifle at the only wild card in the room, which is an old man who was claiming to be in the vents for 40 minutes.
No. Hey, Horace. And I wink at Horace, and then I wink at Sam.
Oh, right. I also think I had a Scottish dialect for this character.
Oh, this is Horace from the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was
definitely Scottish.
Yeah.
Go over and grab Shavana's key card for box H311.
Okay. You walk over to the box, and you are able to open it. Inside is a home. Inside, you find another company executive's key card. This one looks different than the one you're holding and the one that you've seen Rex have before. It too is jet black, but it has a glowing green blight glyph on it. There is no serial number, no identification, no other explanation. But you can tell that the item is glowing with a powerful energy. And that is the only thing in the box.
Great. We got what we came for. Let's get the hell out of here. But first, let's take a look at this portal that's open up in the floor.
Okay, I assume you guys are going to be going through the portal. Is there anything else you want to do in the vault before you do?
There is.
Yeah, does the card open up all the other security boxes?
So there's just like a shelf on the other side. There's just a list of items I have here that were inside the vault as well, that you have no trouble getting.
Inside the hell vault?
No, there was nothing else inside the hell drawer, just this one key card. You've seen the magical items you've been tasked to retrieve from these memories before. This is obviously it. Whatever the key card is, that's what Slokta wanted. Inside the vault, though, there's just 100 gold, 2 health potions, 1 spell crystal.
Take it.
Oh, I guess I should get you something different for this, because you already have one of those, and I just used that. And we'll say another one of the Christmas presents.
Okay.
We'll save that for someone special.
Okay, so that is all the items that are immediately apparent in the vault. Before you start to investigate the portal, is there anything else you'd like to do?
That is all that we could potentially scavenge from the vault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horace. I'll be honest, I feel like we last met hundreds, if not thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey man, we gotta get out of here. I guess we've taken out the security guard. We've taken out everybody.
Yeah. He's standing on the edge of this portal and he says, if there's a portal inside this vault and or memory, something funky is going on. Rex, Bryn, looking up, you see a security guard with a fake beard hanging down around his chin, looking down into the snowy landscape that you are currently tucked into.
I throw a snowball at his face.
Roll plus dex.
God. Oh, it's +3. It's nighttime.
It is nighttime.
That's a 12.
Okay.
That's the first time I've heard those bells, Lisa, and they're really a wonderful addition.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks. It was the shaking.
The snowball smashes Horace in the face.
Yes.
And Tag and Sam, you see it happen.
That's just a taste of the funky strangeness you're going to get in that portal dimension. I'd like to bring Shabanot. Oh, go ahead.
No, he just wipes the snow off and gives you a look and looks down. He doesn't seem to have a handle on the situation. And it's not just because this episode's fucking insane.
All right. Fortune favors the bold. Cannonball. Sam jumps through the portal.
You do, and as you do, the illusion that you've cast on yourself reverts back to regular, and you are now just regular Sam, and you flump down into the snow.
No, I'm just a regular wizard.
Tag, what did you want to do before you?
I'd like to bring toss Shabanaz's floppy body into the portal.
Sure. You pick her up, no problem, and toss her in.
To the words floppy body.
You know, as they were coming out of my mouth, I thought this seems bad, but not terrible.
It's terrible.
Okay.
Shavana sails through the opening.
I didn't want to say lifeless because she's alive.
The moment she passes,
body seemed like the best alternative. You know how my brain works. I'm a couple. I don't come in first on the races.
The moment Shavana's body passes across the threshold from this world into the Winter Wonderland, it turns into ash and disappears.
Okay. Well, just so everybody knows, I was going to set up a cool Christmas Carol thing where we were going to pretend to be the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. We were going to try to see if we could change Shavana and get her to be a different person than the corporate monster she turned out to be, but I guess she'll just turn into ash and dust, and that'll be the end of it.
Wait a minute. Does that mean Danny DeVito and Sly aren't in here with us either?
No, they're with you. And Horace says, not everybody's going to be able to cross over. And he jumps through and makes it into the snow.
Am I still Slokta, or did my thing disappear in this world?
No, you are still Slokta. I don't have a narrative reason for that, but that is the penalty for rolling a fail on that.
Okay.
And you cherish it. Tag, would you like to jump through the portal?
Absolutely, I would.
You dive through, and it closes behind you, and you are now all in the outskirts of this little alpine village. It is the four of you together again at last, and Sly and Danny DeVito and Horace, and they participate too. Sly stands up and says, "Now I'll just speak for the group here because I don't want to have to change dialects a bunch of times over the course of this conversation." So then she takes her gun blade and swings it around a bunch of times and then holsters it. And she says, now, I don't know how you brought us here, but I do recognize where we are.
Where are we?
I think that the aesthetic has been changed to fit the holiday special of this episode. But that is one small detail of the way that these memories can be altered by Slokta. I can tell where we are because I've been in this memory before. I share it. This is where we defeated Slokta. And she gestures up to Blight Manor and says, and this is where it all went wrong.
How did it all go wrong?
Well, I believe that you guys never use the cool items that I know you have. But there's been a time in the past when you have used them before. Now, I was originally... Let me check my notes.
Mental notes.
Where the fuck did I write that down? Oh, yes. Now, I was the summoner a very long time ago of the Void Planet. Danny DeVito was the summoner of the Water Planet. And Horace was a summoner from the Fire Planet. While these shapes do resemble us slightly, we have been trapped in these memories for a long time, and we have taken the form that we find most pleasing on ourselves. But when Slokta was defeated for the first time, we were very nearly unable to overcome her power. She had reached a level of magic use that we had never seen before. And we sacrificed ourselves to destroy her corporeal form, and our spirits have remained locked on the Blight Planet to keep her from regaining her life. At least in a physical sense. It is why she's able to exist as a spirit, but her magic has been restricted, and her ability to cast spells alone has also been restricted. But this is the place where we destroyed her.
Did you die in the process? Is that why you guys are stuck here? With her?
In a sense, yes. We were not able to overcome death in the same way that she is. Our spirits are ingredients in a rather powerful ritual, and they are being used as an anchor on top of Slokta. Were she able to dispel the ritual, we would simply cease to exist. She is held fast by her hatred for the people of the Blight Planet and any other summoner from any other planet.
So, are you forced to assist her as a memory? Everyone who goes through these trials is ultimately gathering ingredients to aid Slokta in continued magic after the grave. You have a consciousness that is independent of that and are forced to participate?
Forced is a rather strong word. We've been here for thousands of years, and honestly, no one's ever managed to help Slocta get her body back or free herself, so participating in these memories is the closest thing to fun that we have. And so, if I want to do a bank heist and lend Slocta one of my memories, sure, why not? No one's ever made it out of her trials with all of the items necessary to create the ritual that would free her. You are the first group that's ever gotten close.
Wait. To free her? That's what we're doing?
Well, yes.
Sorry, am I the only one who didn't? I didn't know. I thought that we were. Sorry, I have. First of all, didn't Ezra Capio succeed in these trials just days or perhaps weeks before? And if it's a question of freeing her, is that not worth more than the benefit of fun for participating?
Well, look, those are two very big questions that I would like to answer for you. Let's just address the second one first. We were just going to go along with the show and let whoever got the items get their little wish from Slocta at the end of the trial, but you've accumulated enough of them now that Slocta could use the power to free herself. Were you to return this key card to her, she would no longer need you to retrieve items. She cannot bring them out of the memories herself. So we lay dormant for hundreds of years at a time. Very few adventurers have come through these trials, and the ones who have either perished in attempting them or only made it out with enough to get a small boon from Slocta. So, once we realized you were going to make it out of here, I made contact and I was going to help you. That bank heist got way out of hand, and a bunch of stuff happened that I was not expecting. But there were several moments that I was possibly going to intervene, and I never had the chance because a bunch of crazy stuff was happening. But here we are now. Second of all, Ezra Capio has not completed these rituals. That was a little bit of subterfuge on Slocta's part, but Ezra Capio does not know that either.
So we don't have to complete these to get to Ezra.
No, I do not believe so. I think that we probably have several options. I will not be able to do much.
Slocta the Insidious lied to us?
Yes. Now, Ezra Capio is a fool and a dullard, and he is a very weak magic user. However, he accidentally was able to find a way to channel some new power that arrived on the planet, and using it in the same way that he would use blight magic, enhance his abilities.
He used the malice.
He has been using the malice. He's also been in contact with Slocta for the entire reign that he's had on the planet, as has every summoner who has ruled blight. They honor her like some legendary hero who almost freed blight from the restrictive powers of the continuum system. But she's nothing more than an advisor who has some rather horrible ideas. Until Capio found the malice, he was uninteresting to Slocta. She has, however, now taken an interest in what he has been able to do. She has created a memory for him to use as a laboratory. He is under the impression that it is a old company laboratory that was buried beneath Blight Manor, accessible through the pit, which is in that room, which is nothing more than a crater from where we smashed Slocta through the earth when trying to rid her of her body. He enters into a portal, much like you do for these memories, and then goes to work on harnessing the malice. He is getting rather close to perfecting whatever it is that he's doing. Slocta is keeping him occupied, so should she be able to get the magical items and return to her corporeal form, she can capitalize on Capio's nonsense and do away with him. He is nothing more than a pawn, a rather dangerous one now that he's allied himself with the malice. But what are you going to do?
I'm going to walk up to Tag and just say, Tag, this is going to sound insane, but You're your dad told me that his magic is blocked here, and he's freaked out about it. He's really upset at whatever KP is doing. Would he strike a bargain with us to work together to stop KPO?
You know, Bryn, I haven't known my father for long, but our few interactions have been significant enough to give me a true understanding, a deep knowledge that he's not a man or a thing to trust. And whatever pact we made, I don't know that I'll ever stop looking over my shoulder doing it. Do I think it's possible? Yeah, I do. For as much as he sucks, he is good at what he does. And what he does is controlling deeply powerful, deeply evil magical essence. So if there was a man, or again, a thing for the job, it would be him. It.
Okay, I don't want to put you in a weird position. I'm just thinking we both want to stop KPO, and we don't have to say that. I mean, right after we stop KPO, we can immediately go to closing the rift.
Bryn, I don't want to act in this conversation like I know the right answer. I am, by definition, here to offer counsel and an ear when I can. And even if that weren't the case, at this point, who the hell knows? You guys just sang a Taylor Swift song to open a portal to chase gingerbread people into a winter wonderland. I mean, we're as off the map as you can get. But I do worry that this is a situation where we, swallow a spider to catch the fly, swallow a cat to catch the spider, so on and so forth.
Okay.
So if we do this, we just need to go into it knowing that he's lying. And I think we need to lie too. And whatever, go ahead.
I just think that he could have killed you or I at any point, and he hasn't. So it feels like we have some kind of bargaining power.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I just want us to keep a couple cards up our sleeve and be ready.
Absolutely.
But I think it is a great idea.
Okay. Okay. I don't know when we did that, but.
You rang.
Huh?
You rang.
Jesus, Dad, have you been listening on our conversation?
We didn't call.
Stop doing that.
That was private.
Yeah, this is private. God.
I'm sorry. And you can see from a fold in the memory, out steps Half-Dad in his black steel armor, flowing black cloak. He's got this, bald, toupee over his head that's got a middle part. And it's the only thing that...
See before, because you stole his crown.
And as he enters, the memory starts to shift. And it inverts and puts you in a place similar to the phase state. But it doesn't seem to be the actual phase state. You still seem to be trapped within the bounds of this memory. And so it's almost in a way that the Blight Village was modified to look like a alpine place with Blight Manor on a snowy hill. You are now inside a giant snow globe, and there's little drifts of snow shaking down. Everybody looks a little bit different. Rex, you look like a company executive. You no longer look like a cleric. You just look like your old self. Bryn, you're this golden ethereal form. You look the way that Tag sometimes sees you in the phase state. Puck and Sam are both here. Tag, what do you look like?
I think it is kind of a halfway point between myself and the beast that we saw.
The beast.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think it's full horned wolf inferno, but I think that there are hints of that. I think that Tag's the horns are there. There's the like little bits of cinders coming off of his body, kind of the effect, the wavy effect when you look at above a fire at a source of incredible heat is there.
And Sly, Horace, and Danny DeVito are spirits much like Slagta, except they are all the respective colors of their planets, and they look much, much more old-fashioned than their bank employee and heist selves. Sam, you saw them when you looked through your truth lens.
Right, they were the ones surrounding Slakta. Yeah.
Yeah, like spinning around her feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Half Dad says, "Well, before we get started," and he holds up a big red bag, and he hands each of you a red present, because we have 4 left, and I want to honor Merc. He hands each of you a red present. So let's just roll those suckers off real quick before we get to negotiating. Who's going to open their present first?
Puck grabs one.
Okay. That is an 8.
This is the first present I've ever opened.
There is a small plush bat doll inside that reminds you of the toad that bit Shavana and gave her blight sickness.
It's going to be something spicy.
I'm just going to assume it's being left in the box. The moment you want to do anything with that thing, let me know. Rex, let's roll your gift next.
Oh boy.
A 4. There is a tube inside. It's sealed on both ends, but there looks like a little lip on one, and there's an arrow pointing towards the lip.
Okay. I lift the lip, careful to keep the opening directed away from my face, in case it's like a can of snakes.
Where are you pointing it?
I think away from the group.
Okay.
Into the snow.
Why don't you roll plus dex to see if that is, in fact, the case?
Oh, my dex is terrible.
What do we got? Mistletoe?
Mistletoe.
So many 3s.
So you pointed away from the group, but you can't get it open unless you're looking at it. And when you pop the lid, the disguised prank glitter bomb explodes. It covers you in glitter, which will take 2 days to remove naturally, less if you wash. And you have a -2 to all stealth rolls during that time. Let's remember this, okay? Mark this down on your character sheet, Rex. When you wash the glitter off, the penalty to your stealth checks will lift, but the glitter will never fully go away. Bryn?
Yes. Yeah, yes.
Oh, and after it explodes, Half Dad went, ha! Okay, Bryn rolls a 19. We already had one of those, so I'm going to reroll. A 15. Bryn, you get an immovable rod. It is a small rod with a button on the end. You press the button once, and the rod will not move from where it is, even in midair. Press again to release it. It provides narrative bonuses and gives +1 to climbing.
Cool.
Ooh.
It is very D&D-ish.
Yeah.
All right, and Tag.
I look at the gift. I look at my half-dad and I say,
You know that this doesn't fix anything, right? You can't just show up for one Christmas decades into my life and give me and my friends presents. One of which I think for sure is a terrible curse. And the other
Sam kind of pipes in. He's like, I don't know. I think I like that he got that gift. It seems fitting. It seems like, you know, it's his first gift. He doesn't know any better. Look, he's happy about it. Yeah, it's a bet.
He's more excited about the box than he is with what's inside it.
It's the gift of giving.
Okay, so sounds like jury's out on the gifts, but I'm, you know.
This isn't an apology, Tag. I'm not a fool. I know this isn't going to fix anything. Okay. Yeah, no, it's not. It's just a gift.
You're not even trying to apologize?
It's just a gift.
Why don't you just apologize? That would be a real gift. I'll open your present.
Okay. I'll apologize. I'm sorry that your destiny is too crushing for you to embrace.
See, stop right there. It's not a real problem. You know, if you're not ready to look at your own behavior and find one thing, not comprehensive, one thing that you think maybe you can apologize for. Obviously, you were listening to Bryn and I's conversation. You know we're talking about working together in some capacity. I think that this would really go a long way. And I know that you have interest in our relationship being repaired for the end of the world stuff.
Look, I might be an evil bastard who's hell-bent on destroying the universe and taking a throne on what's left of it to rebuild it in my own image. Sure, but when have I ever lied to you, Dag? When have I ever gone back on my word? I've been very upfront about what my intentions are and what the consequences will be when you go against them.
So nothing. So you don't think you have anything to apologize for?
Apologizing does not admit that you're weak. It actually shows strong character.
Thank you.
Okay. Apology. What could I apologize for?
Take this opportunity. This is a real moment. Take this opportunity. Don't acquit yourself of the chance to do some good work here.
I am sorry that you were placed into a position which turned you against who you are and who I wish you would become. Because I do want to see you at my side when I destroy the universe so that you could be my heir to the throne and help me remake it. We are not complete without you. And while I will not accept your reasons, I am sorry that I put you in a position to allow this kind of thing to happen.
Thank you for saying that. I accept your apology. You are also still my enemy, and I don't want to do that, but thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
Open the gift.
It is a 10. There is a pair of binoculars inside.
Okay. Okay. So, thanks. And I look through the binoculars.
Sure.
I'm looking at Dad.
It's just like when you look at something that's way too close through binoculars. It will give you a +1 to do actions that involve using these binoculars. So perhaps setting up some events in the future or any kind of spying that you're trying to do. Cool. When you take them down, everybody around you starts to giggle.
What? What is it? What's
and
wrong?
they see that you have 2 little black rings.
Did you, Dad? These are the most incongruently immature offerings to make in an otherwise really dire situation.
I got them at Spencer Gifts. It's a prank.
Yeah, we know what pranks are.
And you have a -1 until you get the ink off of your face to charisma. Because you look like a fool. Okay.
I point to a nearby trash bin and I say, "Don't you need to go dig through that, you little raccoon?"
I like lick my finger and I try to wipe it off. I'm just like, that's not coming off.
It'll work. It's a little smeared, but it'll work.
Puck makes a really. Oh wait, are we in the phase state? Is there snow in the phase state?
Yeah, it's like everything's black light colors, and there is snow, but it kind of looks like cotton candy. It's pretty weird.
All right. Well, Puck makes a huge snowball and offers it to Tag's face to hope that helps add some moisture to get those rings off.
It works. It is kind of like cotton candy, so it is a little sticky, but it does work.
Okay. You kept your pens. Nice.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Yeah, so you listened in on us, and you came in and talked to us. So you were obviously, I think, interested in helping us or working together to defeat KPO.
Yes, I would be willing to enter into a truce to help you defeat KPO. But the moment that his hold on the planet is taken, we will go back to being enemies. I will honor the agreement only up through the defeat of KPO. I will have nothing to do with Slakta.
Well, Slakta isn't free yet. I don't think. Didn't you say that she needed just this card as the last piece? Not you. The Sly.
Why are you asking me?
I'm talking to Sly.
Well, clearly you've been listening.
Sly says, yes, it will not be an instantaneous effect, but she would be able to use these items, once freely given to her, to perform some kind of ritual. Now, I don't know anything about that kind of magic. Whatever she did to reach the height of her powers happened long before I was born. We just happened to be the summoners to finally turn against her. Her influence was spreading beyond the Blight Planet, and we felt it necessary to come and investigate. And when we got here, as a council, we knew it had to be done. But none of us use whatever bastardization of Blight and she does to create necromancy. That kind of death magic is beyond me. I do not know what the ritual would entail or what the costs of it would be. But she could use these items, and I'm only aware of this because well, we share memories now, and I have a sense of her intention.
Okay.
I do have one request that must be honored in order for me to agree with this plan.
Just half Dad?
Yes.
What is the request?
I want my crown back! Blackout.
What a wacky ride, y'all. That one was fun.
Yeah, good time.
Did we get everybody's gifts that they sent? We got gingerbread people. If you didn't catch the gist of it, the portal that you step through will take you to the place where the gingerbread people retreated.
Mhm.
You will have an opportunity to get your items back if you want to.
Are we no longer streaming? I just see. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Wait.
So.
Yeah, we're
good. Did we get everybody's?
It seems like
things.
I'll offer that. It seems like we're kind of part 1 of 2 on this.
Yeah, I definitely think this is a two-part.
Like all this.
I think all of this headgear is coming back next week, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, please. I would love it because I actually had an idea for. We just barely got to the Christmas part of this episode, so I would love to do a part 2.
The New Year. The New Year part.
The New Year episode.
Holiday. We'll keep the holiday spirit alive for just. I mean, look. This is the year that just won't end, so we'll kind of really
fitting
in this.
Yeah.
Fine.
For sure.
Hurrah.
Yeah, I'd love it if we could do Holiday Cheer Part 2.
Great.
Yep.
Gotta love the Christmas specials.
Oh,
Holiday
I love all the
specials are
presents.
just.
That was so fun.
Yeah, the presents were cool.
The presents are cool, yeah. I got them all too, so we can copy and paste the actual items that you have into your character sheets because they are pretty good. Merc came up with a very good list, and all of them, every description you heard, every mechanic, that's all Merc. I just
Thank you, Merrick.
Yeah, man.
That's dope.
Yay. Okay, so this week, instead of answering a question, we decided to do a Secret Santa with the cast, where each of us got a name, and we're going to say one thing we really loved about working with this person on this show. Just to kind of, I don't know, show the love. Who wants to go first?
I'll go
I'll
first.
go first.
I'll let Casey go first.
Well, that's fitting because my secret summoner person is Jesse, and I feel like it's a good way to start this session is to really acknowledge how exceptional it is to work with Jesse. It's so I'm based in LA, and in LA, it's most of the time there's a level of ego that is usually commiserate with the level of talent, or usually the ego kind of is somewhere above the level of talent. And Jesse is one of these people in the world who is just mind-numbingly gifted and hardworking and brings so much as a creative force with no trace of ego. And it's almost, it's this mesmeric effect. It is like the most giving and encouraging creative force to be around that is so easy to work with. And I just find it, I find you, Jesse, so engaging to watch that oftentimes I will get lost in the characters that you just spontaneously create, and your ability to laugh at your own mistakes and roll with those things is one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest
practice.
In improv. It's like one of the greatest strengths of all to just be like, oh, okay, that happened. Instead of being like, that didn't happen, you're like, not only am I going to say yes to that, now everything's going to be even funnier. Everything's going to be even, I'm going to double down on my commitment to the Scottish accent. And on behalf of the Void Jumpers, I just want to say to all the people in chat that if you think Jesse is a phenomenal mission control, just know he's also that phenomenal as a person. So,
well, Casey, thank you. It's my pleasure to be a part of this show. I love it so much, and I learned so much from you guys. So thank you. That was too kind, and I appreciate those words.
Cheers.
I'll go next in a little leapfrog. My person's Trin. I love doing this show. Right before we started, I was really getting into improv, and when the whole quarantine thing dropped and the hammer dropped, it was one of the things that I felt it was a very new love. And so when it disappeared, I didn't realize how much I'd miss it. And so doing this show has been such a treat. But Trin, I truly love your commitment to the emotional weight of a scene. It anchors it in realness, personal. What am I trying to say? Like, we can be flying through space, jumping out of stuff, throwing spiders on each other, and it all makes sense because you ground a scene in the reality of the emotion, and the commitment to those moments is really, really wonderful. And I just love acting with you. I wish we were on a stage doing it, but I will take what I can get when it comes to performing with you. And so you are incredibly talented, and it's an instinct that I think most people, and myself included, they skip. And so it's just, it brings just, it's just really great to be in a scene with you. You're incredible. Thank you for being a part of the show and just bringing the heart to it.
Thanks, Jesse. That's really nice.
You're welcome.
I'll go. I had Connor, which is so fun because when we started this show, the very first episode, Connor and I got thrown into this like crazy scene, and I didn't know how the show was gonna go. Like, you know, it was just a new format of working and acting and whatnot. And you're so genuine and so committed and so open that I forget we're not in the same room together. And that takes so much talent and so much commitment and so much openness. Like, as an actor, you just want to work with people that are open and receiving and listening, and you do that like in spades, like more than most of the people I've worked with. And it's such a delight, and I feel so safe creating with you and throwing any idea at you because I know you're just gonna run with it. And also something I noticed that you do in scenes will be like crazy combat and whatnot, and you'll check in with players in character, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I feel so taken care of and cared for by this character, and that's just such a testament to you and your huge heart and your talent, and and then being able to do the jam swap and take on all the accents and just like jump into it. I think I've told you this before, like you just have this like secondhand way of talking or with Jesse, and it's so fun to watch to see your friendship come through. It's crazy. I mean, I have a friend that I'm like that with too, so it's just so cool to see you guys interact. And then I feel just really incredibly blessed to get to partner with you on so many scenes because it's like the best time on set, but we're doing this virtually. So thank you for giving everything you do.
What an incredibly touching, kind thing to say. I will remember that forever. And just in case I forget, I will watch the replay of this stream, feeling blue, to be bolstered by those words. And how fitting that I have Lisa Coronado. This one is tricky because the Secret Santa prompt that we gave for ourselves was, what is something that you enjoy about working with this person? And I thought like, well, that's really easy to answer. But then I realized that it was actually very difficult to answer without just talking for hours and hours and hours, because the truth is that I enjoy every fucking part of working with Lisa. So I'm challenging myself to be very specific in this answer, and it's twofold. The first is that I am just constantly amazed by how heart forward you are in your work as a storyteller in this medium, and I also think it's very reflective of your work as an actor. I know that I sometimes tend to find myself in a very thinky place where I'm trying to analyze like what should tag do or what would tag do. And we've had so many moments where you would start a scene and you just drop in the most full, open-hearted place. And this is my impression coming from the outside. I really don't know what your process is, but it seems to be that you just inhabit the character so fully that you and Bryn just become infused in this way that gets rid of all that other mind taffy, and you're just able to be so present, and you operate with such empathy and love and understanding of this person. You've just created this extraordinary character that you pilot out of love. And so the things that Bryn brings to this story, these really deep, touching, emotional notes, all come from this place of love that you have, this respectful, this honorable love, and you really do great service to this character by treating her with such full humanity. And it really knocks me off my guard, and sometimes I'm in those scenes and sometimes I just get to watch those scenes. We've had a few where you're talking to your mother or just different even tonight, just now, when you said, you brought up Tag's dad, and I was just like, fuck, she's operating on such an emotive level and can just, I got to get to part two. I just like, part two is kind of out of game. I think that I speak for everyone here, but I will use the I word so that I can be extra sure of what I'm saying. I moved to Seattle in 2009 and was very nervous about, I had just graduated. I wasn't doing any acting because I was very intimidated by that idea. And then the next couple of years, I set foot into the Seattle film community. And even though you and I had very little kind of intense bonding sessions, there was nothing in particular that would have paired up you and I together. But you were just always so caring to me. And I want to be careful to not use like pedantic terminology, like took me under your wing, but you just were always, you looked out for that community, and the same love that you showed towards Bryn, you showed towards all these people, and you would invite me to your house, and you just always made me feel welcome and like my voice mattered and that I was bringing something to the table, and you felt like I had a home in this new city where I felt very alone and felt very unsure of my bearings, and you were absolutely an anchor of compassion and love. And I think that you bring the same thing to this group, that Jesse is our GM, but in many ways I think of you as a leader of this group in a different capacity, that I think that you have a kind of care and compassion for the ensemble as a whole, in everything, in the way that you look after us individually, in the way that you are thinking about places to go with the show, with our ideas. You're just sorry, I could just keep going forever. Lisa, I think you're terrific, and I'm so honored to be your friend and to be your duty-bound parallel.
God, you're so sweet. And the feelings are really mutual for you and for everybody. I love this show.
And so it is finally my turn, and I get to say a thank you to Casey. Again, I also struggle, like Connor struggled, with trying to think of how not to blabber on and on about how wonderful it has been to have you join this team. But I think we can all agree that we are better as a unit because you are here, because of the sense of adventure and openness that you bring to each one of our adventures. I particularly love how you've created these two very different characters and you inhabit them so fully that it's almost always obvious like who we're dealing with in any given moment, and how thoughtful you are, because it can be easy to act quickly in some of these circumstances and scenarios, and I really appreciate the times in which you like had us pause, either as a group or as characters, to just like really take a second to evaluate what's going on, like in the characters' lives. Like I live for the little moments where Puck and Tag are having like the life lessons. I think those are like chef's kiss beautiful. And that your one-liners have consistently kept us entertained. And I'm always astounded by the quickness of your brain. Like sometimes you just come up with things that I'm like, I wouldn't have come up with that if I'd had 3 hours and like a script breakdown of what was exactly going to happen in the scene. So the fact that they can just like pop out of your brain, I'm always amazed by. But you bring so much joy and heart and energy to this whole thing, and I'm so glad to have you. And I'm so glad to have all of you. This has been a really bright spot in a really dark year.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A couple of special shout outs to Mark Thomason. Man, he works so hard behind the scenes, so supportive of our show and the characters, and like we couldn't operate without him. Technically,
we don't even know what bits are.
I didn't even know either. I should know this job.
Nothing.
Yes. So thank you, Mark, so much for loving this show as much as we do and being such a good creative partner for us. You're just incredible. And to Brian Lewis, who and his Professor Brodigan in season 1, signing up for this crazy show and bringing so much heart and humanity and charisma. Damn you and your charisma, Brian. And comedy to it. So also huge shout out to him in coming in and having such an endearing and lasting character in this world. And then I think, Jesse, did you want to say something to Merc?
What did I want to say?
You said that you wanted to say something to Merc.
I do but I don't remember what it was. Remind me in a way that's not going to ruin it.
I'll take this opportunity to give you a little bit of time and give a shout out to Aaron Buman, who the time alone, put creative skill and ingenuity aside, just the time alone that he has poured into the show, creating music and graphics, and then add on top of that the fact that they're just fucking bomb. He lifts us up.
Yeah.
What did I want to say to Merc, Lisa?
I don't know, Merc.
I think it was just like coming up with
How much we love Merc.
everything. Yeah, like coming up with all of the presents, helping set up the entire store this time, writing amazing fanfic constantly that I love. Yeah, everything
week after week, being in chat and just lifting all of our spirits.
Yeah,
making us want to keep making this show, hands down.
Yeah, she's the person behind enemy lines who's doing the mark job, who's just helping I almost didn't include myself. 5 idiots who don't know how to use Twitch. I guess we could say 4 because Lisa knows how to use Twitch.
Yeah.
4 idiots who don't know how to use Twitch and 1 other person who puts up with us, making sure that on the other side of the line we're still running. So thank you, Merc, for everything.
Yeah, you are an integral part of our team as well. We couldn't, wouldn't be where we are without you.
And thank you everybody else.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here without you. So thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Big time, y'all.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do we want me to read this story?
I do.
Connor.
Please.
Okay.
I'll switch off with you, Lisa.
Okay.
Use that text he sent, and every time a person is supposed to step in.
Well, it starts with you, so go for it.
Okay.
We're ending with a Christmas story for you all.
Connor, will you just introduce it for us, please?
Oh, yeah. Happy holidays, everybody. I said this is kind of what we talked about at the end of our last episode. We signed off and we all discussed it together. It's a real bummer, just to put it absurdly lightly, that this year exists in such a way that it's kept many of us from seeing our families. I know that I think of this Void Jumpers community, the 5, I can't count, 6, however many of us there are, and then everyone who's watching. You guys have been a family to me all year. So we thought we'd just bring some of that really cheesy Christmas goodness, non-denominational Christmas goodness in full form. So this is A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Clark Moore.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter.
Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof.
As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. Bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly.
He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink in his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Yay! Happy holidays all, and thank you to Leo who ran our tech tonight through many difficult obstacles and kept us going.
Leo, you rock.
You rock.
Yeah, rocket star.
We'll be back next week with part 2, you guys. Got stuff to do.
Holiday classics. Slock's end. It's not
I
happy.
can show you
time
guys
for-
the rest of my sweater.
Let's see it.
Yep. Yep.
Well, yes.
Yes. Wow. You've been holding out the whole time. That's so good. Showstopper.
So good. Have a great holiday week, guys.
Nice to see everybody.